the Creator would not inform us about our limitations, and if He has informed us and we don't pay attention to it and we don't pay heed to it, we are definitely going to explode, individually and socially. Most of the problems of humanity today is because they have become taghut. They have rebelled. In future, when we come to this particular terminology further, we are going to prove to you and us that Quran applies this terminology, this term, to three categories of people. Or it has three applications. This terminology at Taghut. Number one application is Satan himself, Lucifer, Iblis. Quran has called Iblis Taghut because Iblis, Lucifer, Satan rebelled against God. He went beyond the limits that God had set for him. The second application of this terminology in Quran is any Pharaonic-like ruler. Pharaoh, Quran says, had done Tughyan. We studied that verse. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells Prophet Moses in the beginning of his mission to go to Pharaoh, he says, اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى. Go towards Pharaoh because he has rebelled. He has gone beyond limits. Quran calls Pharaoh Taghut. And any leader who resembles Pharaoh is Taghut. The third application of this term in Quran is neither Satan nor a political ruler that is Pharaoh-like, that is oppressor, that is dictator, that is usurper of the rights of people and his subjects. Neither of these. Rather, Quran calls any human being who considers himself or herself self-sufficient as Taghut. In one of the chapters of Quran says, إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَيَطْغَى أَنْ رَآهُ اسْتَغْنَى. Any human being who starts to see himself or herself as self-sufficient, this person has already rebelled and has already become Taghut. That's why Quran, pay attention to the language of Quran. Quran says, mankind rebels, إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَيَطْغَى أَنْ رَآهُ اسْتَغْنَى. When he sees himself self-sufficient. Why Quran didn't say man rebels when he becomes self-sufficient? It is because man can never become self-sufficient in reality. The only self-sufficient entity is Allah himself. No one else. Even angels need Allah. Even the noble messengers of God need Allah. The only self-sufficient entity is Allah himself, no one else. Wallahu ghani. Allah is the one that is ghani, self-sufficient. Rest of us need Allah. Ya ayyuhan nas antumul fuqara ila Allah wallahu huwal ghani al-hamid. O mankind, you are all poor, needy, and you need Allah. Ya ayyuhan nas antumul fuqara ila Allah wallahu huwal ghani. Allah is self-sufficient, but you are poor. No matter who you are needy. Every second your heartbeat needs Allah. Needs Allah. Every cell of my body and your body, the physical aspect of us, needs Allah. In order for me to be alive and to maintain my life, many members of my body need to be alive. Some of them very vitally so, like heart, like brain. If brain dies, I die. If my heart dies, I die. My life depends on many other lives. Is this how Allah is alive? No. Right now, we are very confident of this technology. We are sitting in front of a monitor, listening to a speech through a program. But if 1 second the electricity is taken from all of us, this connection is interrupted. This is how fragile it is. Is this reliable? Is this how Allah is? How His power is? We feel very powerful. We are in communication with each other. We are confident. We have seen the sun rising every day from the east. So we think that it's very reliable. We are all needy. So if a man sees himself self-sufficient, because man can never become self-sufficient. That's why Quran says, إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَيَطْغَى أَنْ رَآهُ اسْتَغْنَى. Man, when he sees himself self-sufficient, when he sees himself أَنْ رَآهُ اسْتَغْنَى, when he sees himself self-sufficient, becomes taghut, rebels. That's automatic. That's why, brothers and sisters, we should never begin even to think that we are self-sufficient. No matter how rich we are, no matter how knowledgeable we are, we should see ourselves as faqir ilallah, needy towards Allah. No matter how high you are spiritually, no matter how knowledgeable you are scholastically, no matter how wealthy you are materially speaking, remember that all of these are fragile and you need Allah. Sometimes Allah demonstrates it to us in order to get our attention. He brings us to the edge of losing the whole thing to see how fragile it is, that we don't develop arrogance and we don't begin even to see ourselves self-sufficient, because universally speaking we never become self-sufficient. It's impossible. The only entity that is self-sufficient is Allah. So we never become self-sufficient. There is no way. But we could see ourselves that way. Imagine it that way. And Quran says that also is very dangerous, because it makes a taghut out of you and I. It makes us to rebel, no matter what member of the human race. إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَيَطْغَى. When Quran talked about Satan to be taghut, it pointed towards a particular creature, a particular member of that creature, of that category of creatures. When it says Pharaoh is taghut, it pointed towards a particular creature, namely human being, but a particular member among those creatures, among that creature, namely Pharaoh. Pharaoh was a particular person. But when it points towards mankind, إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَيَطْغَى, mankind rebels when he sees himself or herself self-sufficient. But anyhow, these are the 3 categories, 3 applications that Quran has used for the word at-taghut. Quran says those who reject faith, those who disbelieve, those who hide the truth, natural consequence is this, and they cannot escape it, that their wali would be taghut. وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَوْلِيَاؤُهُمُ الطَّاغُوتُ. The wolves in the ambush, the moment you reject the truth, they are going to come swallow you and I. From every direction they are going to come and put the chain of slavery around our neck. Yes, there is a relationship of walayat between taghut and tawaghit, many taghut, and the disbelievers too. But what is the consequence of that walayat relationship? يُخْرِجُونَهُمْ مِنَ النُّورِ إِلَى الظُّلُمَاتِ. The consequence of that walayat relationship is this, that those taghut, those rebellious entities, those entities that have gone beyond the bonds, would constantly bring these people who have decided through disbelief, to go under their walayat,